Exploration Day 3. Hello there, people who have access to the internet and are currently using it to watch this video. My name is Pun Food, or just Pun if you prefer. And last time on Pikmin 3 Deluxe, we roamed the Garden of Hope, found Brittany, and Rock Pikmin. Finally, I can stop using reds all the time. And now... Brilliant, Elf! You expanded the Drake's receiver range! Oh god, is that the voice I did for her? I can't remember, I just remember that it hurt. Ah, thanks! They don't call me the Keen Engineer for nothing. Nobody calls you that! I know. The origin of the signal is unclear. Maybe it's the Captain. We should investigate this at once. Good idea, Elf! Let's do it! Okay. Guess that's all that they have to say about the whole Captain situation. I was kind of expecting more. I don't know. But for now, let's talk. So that memo data file we found was left behind by someone from the planet Hakotate? Correct! I wonder how Hakotatians would fare on this planet. They're vegetarians, you know. Vegetarians? Does that mean what I think it means? If you think it means that they don't eat meat, then yes! Hakotate is well known for its Pikmin carrots. I tried them once. They were kinda gross. You ate vegetables? I can hardly believe it. It was my duty as a botanist, but those carrots aren't really suited to the Copiah palate. Right, but if we ate vegetables, maybe we wouldn't have to travel 279,000 light years to get food. Elf raises a good point. Anyway, let's land in the Distant Tundra. Distant Tundra. Find the Captain! So, you land in like the center of the map, but also Brittany falls into a hole. That's another thing that happens. Ouch, ouch, ouch! My face! Alfie? Are you okay? Alfie? I said, are you okay? Oh man, don't tell me we've been separated again. Yep, this is the common theme of this game. He constantly gets... No, I'm kidding. This is the last time it happens, and it's only to introduce the idea of multitasking, as we'll see in a bit. But for now, we'll make a shocking discovery. Yellow there! Yellow Pikmin! What are those Pikmin doing? Well, they're electrocuting themselves. That's the thing they're doing. So if we take these other 3 yellow Pikmin, and we put them on this thing as well, forms a circuit, and let there be light! Let there be light? Let's there be light? Yeah, yellow Pikmin, they're electric. I guess, like... Yellow Pikmin are kind of weird. Anyway. Is this another onion? I guess they must need light to live. Well, they're plants. Yeah, that's kind of... some plants come in. Yeah, but as I was saying, yellow Pikmin are kind of all over the place for their abilities. They do 1 times attack damage. So, no attack bonuses. They're shock immune. They're immune to shocks. But shocking isn't really the most dangerous hazard, it just stuns you. So it makes you vulnerable, but it's a good thing they're immune to it. Because that also means they're the only ones that can touch electricity and take it out. But then there's the fact that they also can be thrown higher than other Pikmin. which is an interesting one. I guess you could associate it with, like, lightning and it's up in the sky or something, but And also, they're good at digging. Yeah, unrelated to electricity. I don't know why. I guess the explanation in-game is long ears. They're like shovels, so they must be good diggers. I don't think that correlates at all, but it doesn't matter much because that's just what they do. So, I don't know, overall fairly well-rounded. They can be used for digging things up and, you know, taking care of electric obstacles and enemies, and also being thrown higher. Though, spoilers, that being thrown higher is gonna be sort of replaced soon. But for now, all you need to do to get out of here is get 20 yellow Pikmin and push this boulder down this hill. And most people don't realize that there's a pellet posy back here. Well, I got it, so, but yeah, most people don't know that, but that's where you can get an extra 5. Other thing to note is that time doesn't pass while you're in this cave, because it figures it as sort of a tutorial, and they don't want to rush you and something, because you basically don't get to start the day as you normally would, so they figure they might as well at least give you till you leave the cave. But now that you're leaving the cave, you're going to be operating on normal time. So let's do that. It's such a beautiful area. Snow, and ice, and there aren't like any ice mechanics, so don't worry about that. Woo! It's good to be outside again. I was getting claustrophobic in the cave. Hey, there's Elf and the SS Drake. Elf, I'm over here. Ah, Brittany, thank goodness you're okay. I see you're on the other side of the river. Our first priority is to reunite, so let's work together. Please give me instructions. Got it! Oh god. This place is absolutely freezing! If we don't move, I'm afraid we're gonna die of exposure! Note, you can't die of exposure. That is, if we don't die of starvation first! You can technically die of starvation, but despite that, if you don't finish the bridge, spoilers, we're making a bridge, it doesn't really affect Brittany's hunger, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but gameplay reasons, something, I don't know. I guess it's only fair. Anyway, but now, with Elf, you see, I would take out red Pikmin, but then I would have to count them towards the red Pikmin counter. And I really don't want to do that, because it was a pain to do yesterday. So, instead, we're going to take our rock Pikmin and get some pellets for them. They're going to pick them up and take them to the onion, and we'll get more rock Pikmin here, allowing us to quickly, you know. And also, they can dig out this tunnel. What? Oh, it's talking about the Drake. I was getting confused for a second. So while they're doing that, I'll meet them on the other side, which is just down here. This just is a shortcut for really just captains, really only. Anyway, Brittany needs rock Pikmin. I need yellow Pikmin. So what you do is you throw them across the river. And that's pretty much how this day goes. You give the other the opposite kind of Pikmin, and they go do the thing with the opposite kind of Pikmin. That's the only spot you can throw them across, by the way, so I'm actually not going to go over there first, because that way is more deadly. So first, we're going to break down this crystal. This leads to a slide and bridge pieces. There's 2 sets for each captain, or 2 sets on both sides of the river, making for 4 sets in total. Now, remember how I said rock Pikmin were my favorite? That's because they're completely immune to this enemy, because it does piercing damage. And that's its only attack type. So, they can't get killed by it. Which is why I love them, because they're useful in this area. And just like, it's just really cool. I just find it so nice. It's like, oh yeah, they're immune to the piercing enemy. So, because they're rocks, like what are you gonna do? Puncture a rock? That sounds like really hard. Accidental puns are accidental. Almost perfect timing. Let's take care of this bearded amp rat. You can see it rubs, creating static electricity, and we lost 2 Pikmin. I feel bad now. No matter, we will continue on. Let's get them flowered up because we're gonna want the extra power. But yeah, yellow Pikmin can be thrown higher. Other Pikmin wouldn't be able to make this jump. But yellow Pikmin can because, yeah, normally you would have to throw them on the bouncy mushroom. And rock Pikmin aren't really able to carry anything back because the onion's on the other side of an incomplete bridge. Anyway, so Brittany's gonna be done fairly quickly, leaving not much for her to do after. But I would recommend increasing the number of yellow Pikmin, because if you can get this area done in one day, that is really beneficial. Also, yeah, rock Pikmin needing to be thrown to doing their damage boost, I don't find it that consequential. Like, I just did it right there. Basically, as fast as you can press the button is as fast as you can throw. And they're really good for this guy, because they hit him right between the eyes with the extra 1.5, not extra, but the 1.5 damage, and the eyes stun Bulborbs of any variety. Or hitting them there, rather. But yeah. So that's these enemies taken care of. So yeah. I don't know. The one thing I will say is I don't think rocks can latch on to that fruit there. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that after I'm done with Elf and his crew over here. The next thing you see is this fiery blowhog, and you might think, well, you must need red Pikmin because it's fiery. But not at all. Okay, you might need them. But fire isn't even a one-hit KO. Nothing in this game except for, like, technically eating, and, are there any voids to drop Pikmin into? I don't think so, but nothing in this game really is a one-hit KO. You can basically always retrieve them or kill the enemy before they're defeated. And yeah. Sure, it might not be as efficient, but I also don't have to use the red Pikmin counter, which is particularly annoying to use. Come on, guys. Prove to me that you're actually competent. Okay. How are we doing? Can they latch on? No, they can't. Come back to me. Okay, never mind. Well, here comes the last few, and now, I didn't mean to take a screenshot. Now, we can send Brittany back to the yellow onion, because there's nothing left really for her to do on this side before Elf gets over here. Now, Elf needs rock Pikmin. I just realized that. Okay. Well, despite me forgetting things, I will prove to you that I am indeed competent. And which way is he facing? He's facing that way. We're gonna come around this end. And hit him from the behind. Gonna make sure none of them get skewered. Should also be noted while he's eating is when he's very vulnerable to attack. But... Anyway. So... Again, this day is here to teach you about multitasking, but they don't want to penalize you for it. So... Mostly just sort of think about... Where'd that last rock Pikmin go? Throw a bunch of rock Pikmin over. Actually, I don't have any purpose for rock Pikmin. Well, actually I do. Never mind. I'm just full of contradictions. But yeah, yellow Pikmin dig faster, so have them dig that up if you want. The thing I need to do is yellow Pikmin can be thrown higher, so reaching for the cherry. This day is, again, I'm going to repeat myself another time. This day is here to teach you about multitasking and Pikmin's various strengths and weaknesses. Despite the fact that I'm here saying that I'm not going to use red Pikmin because I don't like them. Only takes 10 throws of rock Pikmin to break those big crystals. Also, gonna send a couple of rock Pikmin to take some of those guys back. Because I need more rock Pikmin. Okay. Now. Okay. I don't think I've ever checked this, but yes, they can still do damage to them even if they get caught on fire, which is why you don't need red Pikmin. Except for like the first couple of days. So, that's good. They also have a fruit. Also good. I think I'll send the yellow Pikmin back with that. They can also dig up this. That'll be helpful. I'm waiting around for them to get back. I'll just give it to the rocks. Like, there's no point to not. Actually, I do have a reason why I shouldn't. And the bridge is done. Doesn't take that long if you know where the pieces are and you know what you're doing. Yes, the bridge is complete. Now I can finally reunite with Brittany. Alright. Okay. So. Don't I like have 12? There he is. Anyway. We're gonna send all these Pikmin back to the yellow onion while we retrieve these guys. And is there anything in particular Brittany can do? I mean, I'm gonna have to go to the yellow onion, so I'll just send Alf there via go here. Brittany doesn't have any Pikmin, and I can just manually walk her. But most of the day is up, so I'm not going to make an attempt to move towards the area boss today. Instead, I think I'm going to try and get more fruit. That's mostly what you want to do on any given day. It's just kind of the nature of how the game plays and how it sort of works. The area boss isn't what you always want to like try to make progress for. If you feel like it's achievable, then for sure. But otherwise, it's probably best to just make a new start the next day instead of starting and then having to whistle in a panic to get everyone back. And they also cleverly hide this. I think it's a kiwi. I don't know. I mean, I know it like looks like a kiwi, but I'm pretty sure that there's like two fruits that look exactly the same like that in the game, and they're called different things, and they both look like kiwis. But apparently they're not both kiwis. Maybe they just said they're, you know, that they're the, that they aren't kiwis, like, but they're, like, regional kiwis, if that makes sense. Like, maybe it's a kiwi exclusive to Japan and the American kiwi, or I don't know. Okay. The other thing I do want to do, though, is I at least want to come over here and make the progress over here. I know I just said that I wasn't necessarily going to work toward the boss, but this is sort of just opening up the map because it's sort of a pain to do tomorrow. Also, they can take that, and these guys can take this. Yellow Pikmin are good at digging, so I'll send 2 on there, and we gotta throw Alpha up here, and I'm trying to do this quick, because we have very little time. That should be enough. Hopefully this doesn't crush anyone. I just realized that this could be timed poorly, and they might get crushed. I mean, rock Pikmin are technically crush resistant, but I'm not gonna take chances. Well, I kinda just did. Anyway, that caves the way forward. Oh shoot, where are they? Fruit stays in its spot where you left it, so don't worry about, everyone getting... Gotta really move it. Oh, they're not gonna make it. Okay. Cherries move really fast, which is why the cherry made it, even though it started after. That's just a thing. Some objects move faster despite being lesser, or despite being more weight cost or lesser weight cost, and doesn't always work proportionally to the weight cost. I mean, in this case, cherry requires 1, but the point is, yeah. And that's what a bull bear is. Again, not getting bullborbs and bull bears confused like in the last episode. Bull bears are a lot more intimidating, and I'm probably not going to be fighting them until way, way later in the series. Oh yeah, new onion. So that means onion dance. And absorb. I see! How fascinating! So that's how the onions evolve. It looks bigger now, doesn't it? It looked bigger last time. New fruit! Yay! Cupid's grenade. That's sort of referencing cherry bomb, and I think probably some cultural thing about cherries being cupids somewhere in the world. I don't know. But yeah. Fruit. Cherries only give half a gallon, cup, bottle of juice. Sunseed berry we've already seen. There is a fast forward button that I'm not going to be using because I don't want to accidentally skip other fruits. The disguised delicacy. This actually is an interesting fruit file entry. Well, actually, all of the fruit file entries are really interesting, but this one especially got to me. If you want, you can read it, but I'll also be doing a video at the end of the series going over all the data files and fruit files and Picklepedia stuff towards the end. But for now, yeah, it's a disguised delicacy. Technically, we juice this half separately from the other half, but when it's talking about the total juice quantity, it talks about both halves together. But that's because most when they're split up, you only get half the juice you would get if you can only retrieve one half. Makes sense, but it still counts the two halves as one fruit. So, it's whatever. Oh, also 5 types of fruit. Not that hard to get if you're basically playing through the main story, because boss fruits are always unique fruits, so. Other half, disguised delicacy. The disguised delicacy in total gives 1.5 juice. And then another Cupid's grenade. I believe it juices the fruit in order of you obtaining them. And you always eat one juice. I was so hungry I could have juiced the drink itself. Well, then how would you survive the night? I guess that's sort of the analogy. I don't know. But like, how does that even... It would probably be very metallic. It's good to build our juice supply like this. We should be alright for a little while. 9 days to be exact. Technically 10. Well, at the end of day 10 you would have to have found fruit, but that's not the point. We lost 5 today. Not we. I lost 5. My error. Pretty sure they were all yellow too. We can actually... check. Let's see. Believe it shows like the actual, like if we go over here, I believe it'll show the goat. Yep, there's 2. And then I believe one of the other ones we lost was like, wasn't there. Oh, it was when we were fighting that thing. Yep, there's the other 3. So, okay, there's the other speed. Okay, there we go. So yeah, no increase in red Pikmin. I'm happy about that because I don't like them. I have to stop saying that. I'm giving people the wrong impression probably. But a good increase in rocks. Yeah, both dips were in yellow. And a good increase in yellow, just one above the rock Pikmin. They're still both below red, but you start off with a lot of red, and you have to get more if you want to make meaningful progress on day 2. But we lost 0 to Sunset. Sunset is... Let me tell you this. Even if you get used to death, Sunset will probably still strike a chord with you if you lose Pikmin then. Because it's sad, because it was just you didn't get to them in time to call them back, and... You know, it's like you have to watch the cutscene where they die. I'm probably, hopefully, never going to have to show a sunset cutscene where Pikmin die. But 5 total for day 3 actually isn't that good, but it could be worse. There were definitely scenarios where Pikmin could have died. And I'm enjoying the fact that I won't have to update the red Pikmin counter because I didn't use red Pikmin. That is pretty nice. And then the badge report. Did we get anything new? We did this, we did that. We got Animal Annotator, which was for getting 10 Piclopedia entries, aka killing 10 creatures and bringing their corpse back to the Onion. You have to bring the corpse back to the Onion, otherwise it doesn't count. There are only some specific instances where I believe it counts. I think bosses are like the exception. I don't remember if bosses are in the Piclopedia. And I think that's it. Yep. So, I guess we'll just have to find out what happens next time. But for now, we finally completed the bridge over to the other shore. Sometimes you can take more than 1 day, that's why he says finally. And Brittany discovered a type of yellow Pikmin. Besides their big ears, I'm excited to find out what other unique characteristics they may possess. I'll have to observe them carefully. Closely, closely. Good thing they're so cute to look at. Woo! What a day! Elf. And my name has been, and will be tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that, and always will be, Pun Food.